Alright, welcome back to another Asobi channel. This time we are featuring Vanguard and we are doing a tag fight between Youthberk Sky 4 ounce rebuild
and Fatal 1-0 Blangdmire.
Alright, without further ado, let's get started.
Rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors.
Alright, I'll choose to go first.
Okay, I'll return 3 cards to the bottom.
I'll return 2.
Yep.
Alright,
Stand up, Vanguard.
Unsullied Ice Youth.
Cavity Militia.
Draw. Oh, this card Rebel form exists. Alright, into Squire of Spear Streaks Youth. I'll activate my energy generator. Pass.
Stand and draw. I will discard Dead Rock Dragon to write Hollow Raptor. Cavity Militia skill, if I'm going second, I'll draw a card. I'll set the energy generator. Since I'm going second, I'll energy charge 3. I will call Elaborate Wizard. When it's placed on a Real Circle, I'll look at the top 2 cards of my deck. I'll put 1 into Soul and 1 to the bottom. I'll put Evil Alchemist into Soul. Boosted by Elaborate Wizard, Hollow Raptor will attack your Vanguard.
Okay.
Drive check, critical trigger. All effects to my Vanguard.
Damage trigger check. First check, front trigger. Second check, no trigger.
I'll end my turn.
My turn. Stand, draw. Discarding Youthberk Sky 4 ounce rebuild. Alright, into Sorrowful Ardent Light Youth. Squire of Spear Streaks Youth's ability. Also blast 1 to look at the top 5 cards of my deck. I can choose to add a card with Youthberk in its name to my hand, or I can call a grade 2 or lower rearguard to a rearguard circle. I'll call Selgon to a rearguard circle. I call Doodling. Doodling's effect, counter blast 1. I'll look at the top 5 cards in my deck to add a Youthberk to my hand. I don't have. Alright, battle. I'll attack your Vanguard with Sorrowful Ardent Light Youth.
I'll guard with the critical trigger.
Drive check, heal trigger. I'll give the power to Doodling. Then I'll heal 1 point of damage. Boosted by Selgon, Divinez attacks your Vanguard. As I have more rearguards than you, Selgon gains plus 5,000 power.
Okay. No guard. Damage check. No trigger.
Selgon's ability. At the end of the battle, that this unit boosted, and I have had more rearguards. I retire it, look at the top 2 cards of my deck. I'll add 1 to hand and then put 1 at the bottom of my deck. I am my turn.
Stand and draw. Energy charge. I will discard Evoke Alchemist to write Vacant Fang. Hollow Raptor's ability, when it's ridden by Vacant Fang, I'll review the top 3 cards of my deck. I'll put all grade 1 higher into Soul and the rest to the bottom of my deck. Battle. Vacant Fang will attack Doodlich. Will attack your Rigger for 18.
I'll guard with critical trigger.
Okay. Drive check. No trigger. I'll end my turn.
My turn. Stand. Draw. I'll discard Wayward Therapy Angel to write into Youthberk Sky 4 ounce rebuild. Wayward Therapy Angel's ability, Soul Blast 1. I'll call it to a rearguard, back row rearguards, open rearguard circle. Sorrowful Ardent Light Youth's ability. When I write into Youthberk Sky 4 ounce, when I write Youthberk on top of it, I can energy blast 3. Can retrieve a grade 2 or higher card from my drop. So energy blast 3. I'll take back Doringen. I'll play the Doringen that I just added back. I'll call Sifil. Okay. Battle. Doringen attacks Vacant Fang.
I'll guard with your Rock Dragon.
Boosted by Sifil, Youthberk Sky 4 ounce rebuild attacks your Vanguard.
No gun.
Twin drive. First check, no trigger. Second check, no trigger.
Damage check. No trigger.
I'll use Youthberk Skyform's Rebuild's ability. At the end of the battle that I attacked, I can choose one of the following. Either write Rebel form from my drop or from my hand. I'll choose to write exist from my hand. It gets -2 drive. Youthberk Rebuild's ability. If I discard one, I can set the drive to 1. Or discard the order card departure to dawn. So it has 1 drive. And Youthberk Rebel Form Exists ability. When I write this card using a Rebel Form effect, I can Energy Blast 3. I choose one of my regards and stand it. I choose to stand Doringen. And my front row gets 10,000 power. Sifield's ability. When I write using a Rebel Form effect, it withstands itself and gains 10,000 power. Boosted by Sifield, Youthberk Rebel Form Exists attacks your Vanguard.
No gun.
Single drive, no trigger.
Damage check. No trigger.
Boosted by Wayward Therapy Angel, Doringen attacks your Vanguard.
No gun. No trigger.
The Link attacks your Vanguard.
I will not guard as well. Critical trigger. I'll give the power to my Vanguard.
I end my turn. At the end of my turn, I will write back into Youthberk Skyform's Rebuild, and then I'll bind Rebel Form that exists.
Stand and draw. Energy charge 3. I will discard Blangdmire Nexus. To write Fatal 1 of 0, Blangdmire. Vacant Fang's ability. I'll reveal the top 3 cards of my deck. And I'll put all grade 1 and higher into my soul. Then I'll shuffle. I'll play Radiant's Caliban to choose to draw 2 cards. Next, I'll call Steam Raider Zamug. Skill, when it's placed on Vanguard Circle and I have Blangdmire Vanguard. Counter Blast 1. I'll reveal the top 3 cards of my deck. I may put any number of cards into my soul. I'll put all of them into my soul. If I put 1 or more, I will draw a card. I'll draw a card. Colossus ability. When it's put into soul by an ability and my Vanguard is Blangdmire, I can bind it face down to draw a card. I'll call Veiled Dragon. When it's placed on a Vanguard circle, soul charge 1. Then I may pay Counter Plus 1 to call a card for my soul. I will Counter Plus 1. I will call Elaborate Wizard for my soul. If my Vanguard is Blangdmire, the card called for my soul does not return to the soul. Battle. Boosted by Elaborate Wizard, Blangdmire will attack your Vanguard. Blangdmire's ability, when he attacks, I may bind 4 cards for my soul face down. I'll choose these 4 cards. When I do, I'll draw a card. My opponent chooses 2 of their rear guards and binds them face down. And for every 2 face down cards in my bind, it gains power plus 5,000. So this is 31,000.
No guard.
Twin drive. First check, critical trigger. I'll give the critical to Vanguard and power to Zamug. Second check, heal trigger. I'll give the power to Zamug and I'll heal 1 damage. That's 2 damage.
Damage trigger check. First check, no trigger. Second check, no trigger.
Elaborate Wizard's ability. At the end of a battle that is boosted and my Vanguard is Blangdmire. Counter Blast 1. I can choose a no for my soul. I will choose this perfect card and add it to my hand, and he will bind himself face down. Next, Zamuk will attack your Vanguard. When he attacks the Vanguard and my Vanguard is Blangdmire and his critical is 1, energy plus 3, he gains critical plus 1 and power plus 5000. So this is 35,000 with 2 criticals.
I'll take the damage. First check. Critical trigger. Power to my Vanguard. Critical to my Vanguard as well. Second check. Front trigger. Power to my Vanguard.
Okay. Boosted by Elaborate Wizard, RevolDress will attack your Vanguard for 28,000 power. It does not hit, but Elaborate Wizard's ability. I will add Zamug to my hand for my soul. Counter plus 1, it binds itself. I'll end my turn.
My turn. Stand. Draw. I'll play the League. Use ability, counter plus 1. Look at top 5 cards of my deck. I'll add a Youthberk to my hand. I'll call Doringan. Doringan's continuous ability. If I have a Revo Form in my bind zone, he gets plus 5000 power. Battle. I'll attack your Vanguard with Doringan.
I will intercept with Zamug.
Boosted by Siffield. Skyform's Rebuild attacks your Vanguard.
That is 18,000.
Yes.
I'll guard with Diablo's Girls for 20,000, so this is 33,000.
Twin Drive. First check. Front trigger. Second check. No trigger. Skyform's Rebuild's ability. I'll counter blast 1. And I'll write an exist for my drop zone. Skyform's Rebuild's ability. I'll discard 1 card from my hand to set its drive to 1. Corino's ability, when it's discarded, and search my deck. I'll add a Revo Form exist to my hand. Then I'll put Youthberk Skyform's Rebuild into my soul. Skyform's exist ability, energy plus 3, restand Doringan, and it gives my front row 20,000 power. If I have a Revo Form exist in the bind zone. He also gains 1 critical. Doringan's ability, if it stands by the ability of one of my Vanguards with Revo Form, counter plus 1. I can draw 1, and this turn my opponent will have to guard with 2 or more cards. Siffield's ability stands when my Revo Form enters the Vanguard circle. It gains plus 10,000 power. Boosted by Siffield, exist attacks the Vanguard. This is 15.
I'll guard with a Sentinel.
48.
I'll discard Blangdmire Nexus.
Twin drive. Drive check. Single drive check. Critical trigger. I'll give all effects to Dudley. Doringan. Boosted by Wayward Therapy, Doringan attacks the Vanguard. This is 65,000. 2 critical.
I'll guard with Galma Guild and a Great Tree. So how much power is that?
65,000.
65,000.
You just need another 5,000.
Oops, sorry. I'll guard with Galma Guild and an Elaborate Wizard for my hand.
I'll attack RevolDress with Dudley. When Dudley attacks, if I have a Grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Youthberk in his name, I get plus 5,000 power. So he's at 45.
I'll guard with 3 triggers.
That's the end of my turn. At the end of the turn, I'll write back into Youthberk Skyform's Rebuild, and I'll bind exist.
Stand and draw. Energy charge. I'll write one who walks from 0, Blangdmire Nexus. Its continuous ability is treated as Fatal 1 of 0 Blangdmire, so I'll activate Persona Right. And while my soul has a card with the same name as this unit, it inherits its divine skill, and my front row rearguards gain power plus 5000. I will call Zamug. When it's placed on rearguard circle, counter plus 1. I'll reveal the top 3 cards on my deck, and I'll put any number of cards into the soul. I'll choose to put 2 cards into the soul. If I put 1 or more, I will draw a card. I will draw a card. I would like to call Veil Dragon. When it's placed on a Vanguard circle, I'll soul charge 1. I'll activate Blangdmire Nexus activated ability. I'll choose 4 cards for my soul, and I'll bind them face down. And then when I do, my opponent chooses 2 of their rearguards and binds them face down.
I'll bind Reward Therapy and Seafield.
For every 2 cards in my bind face down, he gains power plus 5000, so you'll gain 25,000 in total. Next, I may reveal a face down card for my bind zone, and then I can call it to a rearguard circle. I will reveal Evoke Alchemist to call Evoke Alchemist. Boosted by Evoke Alchemist, Blangdmire Nexus will attack your Vanguard. Evoke Alchemist has continuous 5000. Beginning of guard step, I will activate Blangdmire's Divine Skill. He will gain critical plus 1. My opponent's Vanguard loses all their abilities and they cannot play Sentinels. With Red Rock's continuous ability, for every 4 face down bind, he gains 10,000.
This is 40, 50, 61, is it?
This is 61, yes.
This sets me at 43, 63, 73. 2 pass.
Swing drive. First check, second check, critical trigger. I'll give the power to... I'll give all effects to Veil Dragon. Veil Dragon will attack your Vanguard. Plus 45 is 55,000 with an additional critical.
I'll take the damage. First check, nothing. Second check, nothing.
Okay,
right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Alright, so that was the Youthberk Skyforms rebuild versus one who walks from 0 Blangdmire Nexus. So for the Youthberk build, I try to stray away from the standard Keter Sanctuary set pile of cards, which is like Tapehold and Wisdom. I played the Youthberk Order, Departure from Dawn, in place of the Wisdom. I feel like the deck requires a bit more refining. Not very certain of some of the copies. For example, Panorama didn't really get much play. Corino seems to be okay if with better play of Corino. For example, like discarding on the rebuild Rebel Fountain. Overall, this does play somewhat different from the old Youthberk. Requires a lot more. It requires a lot less, actually, a lot less strategizing around like your card gain, and it's more just big numbers and attacking into your opponent.
So on this set, we have Blangdmire. With the latest set, he has received a new form in Blangdmire Nexus and a new support card in Elaborate Wizard. So as you can see from the fight, Elaborate Wizard is quite a useful card. It allowed me to return any normal unit from my soul at the end of the turn after the battle that it boosted. So I was able to return a Sentinel to help me survive a future turn. And with Blangdmire Nexus's new ability, since it activates during the main phase, it gives you an additional card to use immediately to help build your field. Unfortunately, during the final turn, I managed to soul charge Game of the Underworld. If not, I would been able to call Schema with Nexus to get it out of my deck. So the plan is similar to before, it's just enhanced by Elaborate Wizard and Nexus. The strongest field you could have is to have Zamuk being boosted by Bedrock, which been given boost by the Game of the Underworld to have multiple swings with 2 criticals and high power, and since your opponent won't be able to use Sentinels with the Divine skill active, it is likely to end the game. So that will be all for Blangdmire.
Alright, so we hope you enjoyed the video and we'll see you on our next video.